Ana ka abe san ya. Na bai motar nan da kaga ya faka ku? Barista. Na'am. Masa zai shigo insha Allah. Shigowa zai shigo. Ya san da hannu fa. Bare wuce ba. Bare iya wuce ba. Bare iya wuce ba. Kare kare motar ne ai. Ina ka ruwa mu kana hannu ai. Bare wuce ba. Ka gani? Ka duba. Mahaukaci ne ba. Ya harbe ka ba. Zai gudu ba zai ba. Zai kada motar nan fa. Zai kada motar nan. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi ya kada ita wallahi. Ya kada motar amma dan buron kwanta ai. Ya kada motar wallahi. Ya kada motar wallahi. Sani ban wayan nan. Ban wayan. Sabuwar wuta kawai. Sabuwar wuta. Ga wannan ga sanda. Dan sai ya. An ga mai kai kai baba. Sabuwar wuta kawai. Ai ba wani babu haruna. Wallahi ko zaka ci duru ko sai. Daga ne shi mana. Ai da waya mana. Zai gudu. Tuben da ya kada riken nan. Wallahi ya kada motar nan. Ni ka gane ko ga kan mashin nake. Ya iya mota. Barawo ne wallahi. Ba ya zo ya mutu. Barawo ne. Barawo ne wallahi. Barawo ne. Duba here ka da motar nan.
Let us go straight into the gist because this one is both shocking and inspiring. The story begins on a quiet Monday morning in a small community on the outskirts of Kaduna State. Life in the area was just returning to normal after weeks of tension. Traders were going to their shops, farmers were heading to their fields, and children were preparing for school. But amid all this normal movement, something unusual caught the attention of the community. For months, residents had been watching a particular large trailer that passed their area very frequently, too frequently. The trailer always carried bags of grains and other food commodities going toward the northern region. But something never felt normal about it. Sometimes the truck driver avoided the main checkpoints. Other times he arrived late at night when nobody expected such heavy transport. At first, people ignored it, thinking it was just another hardworking driver trying to make a living. But as insecurity worsened in some parts of the north, the community became more watchful, more alert, and more united. They understood that safety was not only the job of security agencies, community vigilance mattered too. One early morning, an elderly woman who sells vegetables by the roadside noticed the same trailer again. This time, the driver looked restless. He kept checking his side mirrors. He refused to greet anyone the way he normally did. And strangely, the back of the trailer seemed lower than usual, as if it was carrying something much heavier than bags of grains. She quietly mentioned her suspicions to a group of young men in the area who had formed a vigilante network. These young men didn't act immediately, but they kept close watch. They observed the driver stop at a strange corner behind an abandoned building. Something he had never done before. A few minutes later, two unfamiliar men approached the trailer, spoke to the driver, and were handed something small wrapped in black nylon. This was when the vigilante realized this was not normal. They didn't confront him. They didn't create a scene. Instead, they quietly contacted the local security liaison officer, someone who regularly communicates with the Nigerian Army in the area. Within minutes, the message was sent to a nearby military unit stationed about 15 kilometers away. They didn't waste time. Soldiers were immediately deployed, but they moved quietly, approaching the highway from two different directions. Meanwhile, the trailer driver, completely unaware that he had been flagged, started his engine and slowly drove back onto the main road heading toward Kaduna. As he drove, he kept receiving calls. Anyone watching closely could see something was wrong. He talked in short sentences, ending each call quickly. He checked his mirrors again and again, paranoid but determined to continue the journey. The soldiers set up what looked like a random checkpoint. You know how the military can be strategic, calm, and professional. The driver saw the checkpoint and almost panicked. He slowed down. His hands trembled on the steering wheel. He pretended to adjust something on the dashboard. When it was his turn to stop, the first soldier greeted him politely and asked him to step down for a routine inspection. The driver tried to act relaxed, but sweat was already forming on his forehead. The soldiers began inspecting the bags of grains one layer at a time. At first, everything looked normal. There were yams, beans, and sacks of maize arranged neatly. But then a soldier noticed something: the second layer of bags did not match the weight of the top ones. A bag that was supposed to be full of maize felt unusually heavy, like metal was inside. The soldier quietly signaled to his team. When they opened the first suspicious bag, their eyes widened. It was filled with rifles, dozens of them, carefully wrapped in sacks to look like food items. Under the second bag, they found bullets, magazines, and tactical gear. Under the third, there were more weapons, arranged in a professional smuggling pattern. It was now clear. This driver was not just transporting commodities. He was transporting dangerous arms toward criminal gangs operating around Kaduna. And the weapons were enough to arm a small group of attackers. The moment the soldiers made the discovery, the driver tried to escape. But he didn't get far. Two military personnel pinned him down calmly and securely. They arrested the two men who had been communicating with him. None of them resisted, because they were fully surrounded. By this time, the entire community had gathered at a safe distance. They were shocked but relieved. The same trailer they had been suspicious about for months had finally been exposed. And it was their vigilance that made the arrest possible. One of the young vigilante members said something powerful that day. If we don't protect our home, who will? These criminals pass through communities pretending to be ordinary people. But when we speak up, we save lives. The military later released a statement confirming the arrest. They praised the community for giving credible intelligence. They also revealed that the weapons were linked to a known arms smuggling network that had been supplying dangerous groups across parts of the north. The soldiers also confirmed that the smuggling gang had been disguising themselves as food transporters. The trailer had been used multiple times for illegal transport. The arrest would help reduce planned attacks in Kaduna and neighboring states. This success brought a new sense of unity to the community. People realized two things. Security is a partnership, community plus military. Every little piece of information matters. Days after the incident, the village held a small gathering to thank both the security officers and the vigilant young men who raised the alarm. They understood that one intercepted truck could mean many lives saved. That event changed the community forever. Because of it, neighboring towns also increased their watchfulness. They formed security committees, shared information more openly, and supported the military whenever they noticed suspicious movement. The driver, who once blended in like a normal citizen, now faces full investigation. His phones were traced. His contacts were tracked. His network began to fall apart piece by piece. And all of this began with ordinary citizens paying attention. This story is a reminder that insecurity can be reduced when communities and security agencies work together. Every tip, every alert, every observation counts. And this is why it is important to remain aware, remain united, and never assume that danger cannot hide behind the most innocent disguise. If you enjoyed this security update, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because more deep stories, more real-life reports, and more security updates are coming your way.